Hello everyone, Charles from the Bible Unbound, and today we've got something from Crossway that I know you guys will like. This is the ESV Journaling Study Bible Artist Edition with artwork from Joshua Noom. So I really like the idea of a journaling study Bible. So with most all of the same information that is in your main study Bible, but still have the option to have space for journaling. I'm not typically one that would write in a study Bible because I want to make sure that I can still read all of the information in there when you're coming back to it again. Now I might highlight or underline it, but the idea of writing in it didn't normally appeal to me very much. But I think I'm changing my mind when it comes to this one. Now this has over 120 Bible character profiles, 10 topical articles, 900 special facts, glossary of terms. There's more than 80 maps spread throughout the entire Bible itself. It has their full 80,000 cross references in here. There's a 2-inch ruled margin on both the major outsides, which I think is going to be very useful. It's a 7.5 font for the main Bible and 6 points for the actual study notes. This may be a little small for some people, but in my opinion, it's right in that sweet spot. Between 7 and 9, I can read very well, but I know my wife prefers things that are actually like 9 or 10 or above if possible. But in order to keep the size of this as a study Bible in a more useful format, that they had to compromise a little bit on the size. So their artwork in here on the outside is from Joshua Noom. So he's a Florida-based designer specializing in detailed and these bold illustrations, which I'll show you here. So I set the slipcover aside, and you'll notice this beautiful artwork on here. So this is an artwork cover on both the back and the front with this really nice design of the lion on the top, the lion and the lamb. There's really poignant artwork that relates to different sections of the Bible. I love on the back with the lion laying down with the lamb. Such beautiful artwork. And even on the spine, where that is the ESV Journaling Study Bible, looks like Jesus reaching down to pull us out of the fire. I love that imagery. This is a hardcover, which is more of a paper kind of cover to it, with this nice artwork with the gilding that is kind of stamped into it. The pages on the outside are just plain pages, which most typical journaling Bibles are. And we open it up, you realize it's nice paste down, and I notice there is a decent amount of reinforcement tape here. So I think that should actually hold together well, because it goes and it's reinforced right on this Smithsonian binding. A couple nice thick pages for the paste down into that first signature that you can see is well sewn in there. You go to your really sparse presentation page, so it's really nice and basic. ESV Journaling Study Bible. To your copyright page. So it's printed in China. It looks like this is the 2024 printing. Then it goes to the contents for the ESV Study Bible with your Old Testament, New Testament, location of where your charts and character profiles are, map supplements in the back, list of the charts and diagrams, character profiles, illustrations, and you go into the introduction for the ESV and ESV study system, and your preface. Let me say it every time, read that preface at least one time so you get an idea of anything special that they've got going on in their actual system. And you'll notice right off the bat, the journaling section is even in the preface as well. So there's plenty of notation space in here. So as we get into the actual overview from the Old Testament into Genesis itself, you'll notice something a little different. I originally thought this was the ESV Standard Study Bible that they were using, but it is actually the ESV Student Study Bible, which makes a lot more sense to me that they're able to have it as compact as it is and still be a really nice size for journaling. So I have a copy of the ESV Student Study Bible, and we're going to open it up and take a look side by side. And I noticed that this is actually paged exactly the same. So the contents of this study Bible is the Student Study Bible. So we'll open it up to the opening of Genesis, and you'll notice, let me go back to the actual opening, that this is the same material. So it's formatted a little bit different. The colors design is a little different, but it's paged exactly the same. So this is page 27 here. We'll go in a little bit to actual Genesis 1 itself. And we'll notice that it's the same notes, the same outline, and it is the same study notes. So this is the journaling version of the ESV Student Study Bible, which is going to be a very interesting thing to take a look at, because I really like the idea of the Student Study Bible. It's a little bit more condensed. It's not exactly the same information. So the three different study Bibles they have is the ESV Main Study Bible, they have the ESV Student Study Bible, and they have the ESV Concise Study Bible. And the notes in them are similar, but they're not exactly the same. So there's going to be some slightly different notes in the way they're presenting the notes in all three different versions. So the Student Study Bible is more of a condensed version because it's made to be more portable and easy to take with you. And this looks like it's going to be paged exactly the same. So this is the Student Study Bible. This makes more sense to me than I originally thought it was the ESV Main Study Bible, and they weren't lining up. And as we get into it, I really like the way that it's formatted. So I liked the ESV Student Study Bible. That means I'm probably going to like this a lot too, especially with the journaling section on the side. So this is over 2-inch section on both sides, which is a lined journaling paper. And it's the same colored paper that they used in the Student Study Bible. Most journaling Bibles, I'm seeing this kind of a yellow font, which is a little bit better on your eyes, but it doesn't take well to certain types of notes and charts. That makes them a little harder to read. But text itself reads very well, and it takes to pen for the paper very well too. And now this is not shiny paper. It looks like it's a slight matte finish to it, which should take well to just about anything you want to use to journal with it. But in your main section of your text, you probably want to make sure you use something that is an acid-free or a gel that doesn't bleed through. Because if you bleed through on the text, it'll make it difficult to see on the other side, which is the main reason I don't typically write in most of my study Bibles or my commentaries, just to make sure that I can still read anything that's on the other side of the paper. There's plenty of generous space on both sides. And since this is the ESV Student Study Bible, you're going to have all of the same information. And you'll notice one thing I also like, how well this lays flat. Even at the beginning, I mean, I'm not holding this down, and this isn't even to the copyright page, and it's holding flat. I think if we can jump all the way to the back too, and I'll go to the maps, and it lays flat. So this is going to be very useful for journaling. Plenty of maps, charts, like this beautiful map chart here of Solomon's Temple. So it's a beautiful design overall. So it's a dual column design with textual footnotes before your study notes and any of your reference notes in the lower right hand corner. So all of your cross references are condensed and kind of out of the way. It wouldn't make sense to have a center column references like the ESV Study Bible has, because you're trying to make that space available on your outside edges for note taking. And as we go a little bit farther in here, we're going to go to the back. And you'll notice that it has all the same references. And just to make sure that all the paging is exactly the same as your Student Study Bible, let's open this up to the same section. So we're going to go to page 1543, and we're going to take a look and see if it says the same thing. And as we open it up to 1543, it is exactly the same. So it is the same format as a Student Study Bible. I really do like this, that they did this. So you're able to take that same convenience in a more portable size as a journaling study Bible. Then we'll get to the end, and you'll notice it has a nice section after Revelation, where you have a few nice articles. So you have some articles and resources. Everything from God's plan of salvation, the importance of church for growing in Christ, authority and reliability of the Bible, how to read and understand the Bible, how to apply the Bible in daily life. I really like that. It's a good read through. Some important truths on doctrine, persons of God, section on ethics. Then you get into the glossary, and the note section is throughout the entire Bible. I love this. Then from your glossary, you have your concordance. The notes section is still available in the concordance. Then after the concordance, you get into the maps. Now the maps are a nice brighter white paper. This is a little bit thicker, kind of cardstock, but you'll notice that that space for the journaling section is still available all the way through, even through the maps. That is very nice. These maps at the end. And after the maps, just open at the paste on page, it is laying flat. It's beautiful. Now, realizing that this is actually a student study Bible, I like this even more, because I was first thinking that it was the normal study Bible that was condensed so that way they could actually make space for the journaling section, and knowing it's the full journaling study Bible, student study Bible, it makes a lot more sense for this journaling study Bible. All in all, construction-wise is very nice. This nice hard cover with a slipcase, which goes into it very easily. Now, this type of paper cover, I think, would get some wear on it if you were taking it with you in a book bag or something. So I would definitely utilize the slipcase if you were going to do something like that, and it still would sit on a shelf very well, nice and neat. I do like this. So another great option here from Crossway. They're putting out some really nice study Bibles. And even though they have the update coming to the ESV next year with a idea with a journaling study Bible, you can still take that note of any of the changes that you see, and you'll have the old change plus your new note. I like the idea of doing that. So that makes it a really safe option to buy. In my opinion, the changes aren't going to make me not buy anything if I was going to buy something, even a premium option, because that's going to last for quite a while, and you could always make and note that change in there. So with that, we're going to end this video today, and we always ask you to like, comment, and subscribe. Let us know if there's anything you want us to take a look at, and we'll try to make every effort to bring this to you guys. So until next time, we hope that you have a nice day, night, evening, wherever you are. And we hope to see you in the next video.